Classic guitar video. Tonight's guitar is a refresh on a once owned by me less than a month ago Gibson Les Paul Studio in satin black. If you guys remember, I traded this guitar to a guy for a BC Rich The Dagger and a BC Rich Mockingbird. It turned out, whoops, I'm sorry. It turned out he did not like this studio, so I had a Fender American Strat that he liked better, but it was about $250 more. So he gave me my studio back, the Gibson Studio back, and I gave him the Fender American Strat, and he gave me also a Ibanez Ergodyne 4-string bass and $50 cash. Or actually, I take that back. I had him do a $50 Wiener Schnitzel food run for me. So he was kind enough to do that for me, and he likes the Fender, and I have my studio back in. I have another bass that I'll get $220 for. It had a broken horn on it, but I glued it, and I'll probably do that bass probably tomorrow night, I think. So let's go ahead and get right into this Gibson Les Paul Studio in semi-gloss white. And if you remember, it has the pickguard that I made myself. It's a flame maple. You know what? Some people love this, and some people hate it. I had a guy email me today that I'm trying to do a trade deal on for an amplifier for one of his guitars, and he took a look at my guitars on Craigslist, and he saw this, and he's all like, you know what, no offense, man, I do not like that pickguard on this guitar. He said it had a bumblebee effect, and he didn't particularly like it. Not that this was a guitar that he wanted, he was just voicing his opinion. So it's kind of a love-hate thing. You either love it or you hate it. So it's kind of one of those things. But I'm just going to do a quick refresh on it. He said the pickups sounded too muddy to him. What that necessarily meant, I don't know. He's kind of a young kid, so I don't know how astute he is at playing guitar or judging guitars. To me, it didn't sound muddy. But we'll see if something maybe happened to this guitar while he had it. I don't know. But we'll see. Yeah, he said it was muddy when he palm muted it. Fine to me. I'll adjust down the pickup a little bit, and yeah, I'll adjust the pickup down some, and to me it seems fine, but that's just me. It's probably just a matter of taste, because as I can hear, there is nothing wrong with the pickups at all. But I'll turn them down just a little bit, and that'll give it a little bit less aggressive sound. And see what that does for it. Okay, well, other than that, it sounds perfectly fine to me. No problems, no issues, no glitches. I did already, the other day, he actually dropped this off to me a week ago, but I didn't do any guitars almost all last week because my back was really bad. I did run a ohm meter across the pickups, and they were within factory specs, so nothing wrong with the pickups. So I'm going to go ahead and detune it. And he got the fretboard kind of dirty, so I'll do a quick refresh, polish on the frets and fretboard. So we'll do that. We will do that forthwith. We will do that on the down low or on the up high. This guitar is from 2006, I think. I don't remember. I don't even remember right now. I'll have to look at the serial number and double check. I don't even remember. So I have so many guitars that I don't commit a lot of that kind of stuff to memory. You know, I just come through so many guitars every month that, like today I sold a guitar to somebody and for a split second I forgot the year it was. But it was a Epiphone Les Paul limited edition custom shop in Flame Maple that I had up for sale for, well, to be honest, 2.5 years. I've had it up for sale because some people considered it too expensive for an Epiphone, but it was an Epiphone limited edition custom shop, and not a lot of people realize and even know about them. And from time to time people will even email me and say, hey, what do you mean custom shop? There's no such thing as an Epiphone limited edition custom shop. Well, in actuality, there is. So you just don't know it. But yeah. I'm going to have to detune them a little more. And we'll refresh the frets and fretboard. Maybe set the action, reset the action maybe a little bit, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what it needs to be done on this sucker. I'll just leave that on there for now. And we'll get right to it on the frets and fretboard. Yeah, check the nut's nice and tight. So that's good. And this video should go relatively quick. If it does, then I have a third guitar I'm going to do tonight. That's another refresh on a Ovation, a CC48 acoustic electric. So let's go ahead and get started with this, though, one guitar at a time, huh? One guitar at a time, one guitar at a time. Okay, here we go. That's about all it's gonna need. I don't think we're gonna need a, you know, because he only had the guitar about 2.5 weeks, so. And at that point he said he did not like the muddy sound. To me it doesn't sound muddy at all, but I told him maybe it could have been an amplifier setting or something of the like. But it's okay. He liked another guitar I had, so no harm, no foul.
his fingers were, unfortunately. I always personally play with clean hands, I mean, if at all humanly possible. Even at a gig or something, you know, it's just like, you play better if your hands aren't all greasy and sweaty and grimy. You know. So with that said, I mean, not that this guy was dirty and grimy and sweaty, but I'm just saying that sometimes you don't have the ability to, you know, wash your hands before you come on stage and play a guitar or, you know, whatever. And that's fine. You know, it is what it is, and that's what it is. No biggie. But we're just going to go ahead and do this up real quick like. It's probably going to go pretty fast because I don't need to polish the guitar because it's of a satin finish. I will probably just run the rag across it and get the rest of his fingerprints off of it. And back in the case it'll go. And it's already been back up for sale for a week. I had one inquiry on it, but the guy wanted to give me $200 for it, and I was just like, yeah, no, you're not going to buy a Gibson Les Paul, not even a parts one, with no electronics in it, and no tuners, and no pickguard for $200. It's like, this isn't an Epiphone, it's a Gibson Les Paul. So some people want something for nothing, or some people want it so they can turn around and resell it and be the one to make the profit on it. And that's kind of what category I put that person in. Yeah. I'm not making a killing on a lot of these guitars. Some guitars I'd make a decent profit on, but most I am not making a killing on. You know, I'm not buying guitars for $200 and selling them for $1,000. I wish I could be the one to buy Gibson Les Pauls for $200. On occasion you'll see a Gibson Les Paul or a Gibson SG or something on Craigslist that's just a body and the neck, no electronics, no pickguard, no tuners, something like that. And I'll pick that up, and I have lots and lots of parts, as you guys know, so I could fill that up and make it a playable guitar inside of a night, too, on the outside, and then turn around and sell it for, you know, $500 to $1,000, depending on what it is. But those are kind of few and far between. There was a guy that had a cherry color Gibson SG on Craigslist just a few weeks ago for I think $250. No tuners, no electronics. It did have a pickguard. Or no, I take it back, it didn't have a pickguard. But no tuners, no electronics, no pickups, no switch, no pots, no nothing. Not even the jack. And $250. So by the time I emailed that guy and said, I'll take it, bring it over to me, I'll give you your $250 cash, he said he had already sold it. So other people are doing what I'm thinking, and that you buy something like that and fill it up with parts and get it working and turn around and sell it and make a few $100 profit. $200, $300, $400, $500, $600, $700 profit, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just, you know, it's a big enterprise, you know. So, yeah, every once in a while you'll see something like that on Craigslist pop up. And you'll go, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And practically no sooner do I see the posting and inquire about it, it's already gone. So it's like, oh my gosh, somebody else is thinking the same thing on me. And sometimes I'll even see that same guitar back on Craigslist within a week, fixed up. And it's got $500, $600, $700, $800, $900 on it. So I was like, oh dang. But like I said, that kind of thing doesn't happen too often. I wish it did, but it doesn't, unfortunately. Okay, so frets and fretboard are once again clean. And I'll just wipe off the headstock. It's a little dusty under the strings, so I'll just simply wipe dust off of it. And that's pretty much all it needs. And like I said, I don't need to polish it because it's not a polished finish. It's supposed to be on these. So there is that. You don't wanna do that. I got this twisted. I'll repolish that, and I will just polish down the or wipe down the body and get the guy's fingerprints off of it, and back up it'll go. Pretty happy with this guitar. I like it. You don't see too many that are take this off real quick. You don't see too many that are, I'm gonna have to reset the dang height anyway because it messed it up anyway. That are semi-gloss black like this anyway. You just kind of don't. It's not rare. This guitar is by no means rare. But I'm just saying you don't see too many that are semi-gloss finish like this, is all I'm getting at. It's cold in this room. It's 59.5 degrees in this room. And no, I don't have a window open, and no, I don't have an air conditioner going. It's just a cold day. It's only got up to, I think, 51 today, and tonight it's supposed to get down to like 28. So I just kind of do that and just kind of clean it up a little bit. And that'll be it, you know? I don't want to polish this. I don't want to put polish on this. The only time I would put polish in this is if it really had a lot of swirl marks or whatever in it, which it doesn't, so I'm not going to mess with it too much. I'm just doing it, like I said, I'm just doing a refresh on this, so it's not like, you know, not like we're doing anything hot and major with this. Just a refresh. I don't think the guy played it a whole lot. He did play it a fair amount, though. I can tell because I know the difference when somebody says they picked a guitar up and strummed on it for 5 minutes, as opposed to they sat and strummed on it for 5 weeks for an hour a day. I know the difference. I can tell the difference. So when somebody says, well, this guitar has only got X amount of plays on it or hours of play on it, I can tell when somebody's BSing me or not. I can tell. So back on that goes, and then we probably won't even repolish this. I mean, this rag is already impregnated with polish, so from wipe downs. So I just, kind of keep my man hours down on this, because I started getting too many man hours doing refreshes on guitars. Then my profit goes right out the window. And I'm not making a killing on this guitar at all. I mean, realistically, I'm making about, selling it at $750, I'm making about $50 profit, literally. And I'm not kidding about that, unfortunately. I'd like to say that I bought this guitar for $300-400, but I didn't. I just simply didn't. I wish, but I didn't. The guy I got it from was a real nice guy. He brought it to me. He drove an hour and a half to bring it to me, and came with a case. I didn't give the case to the kid when I did the trade. As you guys know, I very seldomly give a case with guitars, because more often than not, the person will not like the case that I am giving. And they just say, well, I'll take the case, but I hate it. It's like, no, you know what, I'd rather keep the case, because I'm on a pretty good run on cases. Meaning for every 10 guitars I have, I only have about 6 or 7 cases, so I do not have very many cases per guitar. But since this is a Gibson, it deserves to be in a case. So there is that aspect of it. Okay, let's go ahead and start restringing this puppy. And we're not going to tune it or anything, we're just getting the strings back in. And that's it, you know, no big deal. Okay, next guitar string. Oh man, that string is rough. Boy, I hate to say this, but he had pretty dirty hands when he played this guitar. Sorry to say it, but it's just a fact. Goodness gracious. Damn. Okay then. Alright. Damn.
I hope it tastes better than those Macara herbs you gave her. Are you sampling all her medications? No. Kira doesn't like the taste. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. She has a rash on the back of her thighs. She have a salve or something. How long has she had it? Well, I noticed it yesterday when I was helping her with her bath. So she's had at least a day.
Okay.
My baby. So, did you look? What? Oh, please. I was holding a towel in front of her. How does Keiko feel about you helping Kira out of the tub? Keiko feels fine about it. We are adults building a close, mature relationship. I'm sure that Keiko and Kira have. You. Oh, no.
Okay. Alright, last one. I'm not going to put new strings on it because the strings that are on them are new, so it's like I don't need to put new strings on it. Just don't need to. Drop my tuner. Make sure It's in its groove. I got a couple strings I need to cramp. Alright. Whoa. Definitely not in tune, is it? Wow, the frets and fretboard look nice. Again, look at the shine on those. I'm just going to kind of wipe down the back of it. And the guitar is, other than that, it's in virtually the same condition as I gave it to the guy, so I'm not worried about, you know, I always inspect it, and if it, you know, if he were to say have dropped this guitar and it had a big old dent in the side of it or something, I would have been like, you know what, dude, I can't take it back, or I would have to prorate it, which means I wouldn't give him this full $750 credit back on it. I would give him $600 or something like that. But that didn't happen, so we're all good on this. So, turn it on its side here and do the sides. And then flip it over and do the other sides. Check the jack. The jack is all good. Then we'll do the cutaway. And then the back of the neck. Then back in the case this will go probably tonight. Because I got 6 guitars. And this is a 2012, I just remembered. I was trying to, I forgot what year it was. I was thinking 10, but no, it's 2012. It's in virtually the same condition. There was no new scratches, no new dents, no new dings, no, you know, nothing like that. So I was more than happy to give the guy full credit back for the guitar. Again, I don't normally do it because, again, I am not a store, so I don't give warranties or guarantees on any guitar, ever. Not even on any new guitars that I sell, that are still considered quote-unquote brand new. I just don't do it. I can't afford to do that. I've actually had people in the past buy a guitar from me that was brand new, still had the protective plastic on it and everything, and actually physically dropped the guitar and bring it back to me and say, I want my money back. And I look at it and it's got big huge dent in it or a big huge whatever, and I'm just like, you dropped it, I'm not going to take it back. You know, I'm not a store.
If you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the credit card companies don't want you to know.
Sorry, I can't do it. You know, simple as that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and retune it and redo the action height and check the intonation, and then we'll be done with this in probably under 45 minutes. Okay. At 9:56. What time is it? Okay, you're probably not there anymore. Assuming. Double check. There. You're not, but thank you for coming. My good friend Nikki Rev, ASMR Plus. Check her out on Twitter Or I mean, YouTube. Well, she's on Twitter too, actually. You can check her out on Twitter also. But she's a good friend of mine. Good online friend. Okay. So let's plug this puppy in and get her done so we can go on to the next guitar tonight, which will probably be that Ovation CC48. So let's do this. Let's do this. I better set the height now. I'm just going to do it now because okay, there we go. Okay, I think that's it.
Lately, oh my. I'm tasting it. And I'm getting You got these, okay? Take 3 weeks and go.
Yeah, that's it. We're done. It needs nothing else. Yeah, it's all good. We're ready to go right back out. So yeah, that's quick. 37 minutes to do this guitar. Pretty good. So yeah, this will go right back. It's already been up for sale for the past week since I've had it back. But yeah, pretty good. Alright, so on to the next one.
So thank you very much for joining me on this classic guitar video, which is brought to you by, sponsored by Guitar Center of Glendora. Thank you very much. Check them out. They're a really great store. And again, this is a 2012 Gibson Les Paul Studio and semi-gloss black. Pretty nice. And I took this guitar back last week and trade back. I already explained that to you guys. I won't keep explaining it. But yeah, on to the next guitar, and we'll see you actually in a few minutes with the third guitar tonight. So thank you, and happy guitaring.